Most relationship problems aren't caused by incompatibility. They're caused by two people experiencing love correctly, just through entirely different operating systems. Men and women don't fail at love. They often succeed at two different versions of it simultaneously, without realizing the other version even exists. On average, women tend to experience love as a continuous, ambient state. It runs in the background at all times. It influences how they interpret a glance, a delay in response, a change in tone. Love, for many women, is a lens through which the entire relationship is filtered moment to moment. For many men, love tends to function more as a stable baseline, what conclusion they've already reached. Once a man has decided he loves someone, that feeling doesn't need constant reaffirmation. It exists as a fact in the background, not a mood that requires daily maintenance. This is not emotional unavailability, it's a different architecture. Women tend to process relationships in relational terms, meaning they track patterns over time, read between the lines, and connect emotional dots across multiple interactions. A missed text isn't just a missed text, it's potentially a data point in a larger pattern being monitored. Men tend to process situations in compartments. A missed text is usually a missed text. This isn't disengagement, it's how many men categorize and manage information. The relationship lives in one compartment, work, stress, and distraction live in others. These don't always bleed into each other the way they do for women. When a man goes quiet during conflict, he often isn't withdrawing emotionally, he's attempting to regulate. Many men process difficulty internally before they can articulate it. From the outside, this looks like distance. To him, it's processing. When a woman pushes for connection at that moment, she's not being irrational. She's following her instinct that the relationship requires active maintenance. Both responses make sense from within their own framework. When a woman reacts strongly to what seems like a small thing, a short reply, a forgotten detail, it usually reflects accumulated data, not an overreaction to a single event. She has been tracking a pattern, and this moment is just where the pattern became undeniable. He sees one incident, she sees the 10th one. In attraction, men tend to feel connection through shared activity or physical proximity. Women tend to feel it through disclosure and emotional attunement. This is why two people can spend an entire evening together and walk away with completely different assessments of how connected they felt. Here's where most people misunderstand this. The common assumption is that women need more love, or that men are emotionally limited. Neither is accurate. The deeper pattern is this: women tend to express love through emotional labor, checking in, noticing, anticipating needs. Men tend to express love through action and loyalty, showing up, providing, staying consistent. The problem isn't that one approach is superior. The problem is that each person tends to feel most loved when they receive love in the language they speak, and they tend to give love in that same language. Assuming the other person will receive it the same way, a man who stays when things get hard often believes he has communicated everything. A woman who asks, "Are you okay?" 12 times a day believes the same thing. Both are expressing love, neither is being received. This mismatch creates a specific kind of silent tension. She feels unseen, not because he's absent, but because his form of presence doesn't register as emotional engagement in her framework. He feels criticized, not because she's attacking him, but because her need for verbal reassurance reads to him as a signal that what he's already done isn't enough. Over time, this erodes not love itself, but the feeling of being loved, and that distinction matters. A relationship can have genuine love in it and still feel emotionally starving to both people, because they're each waiting to be fed in a way the other doesn't naturally need to give. What silently breaks attraction is when one person stops trying to understand the other's language and simply concludes the other person is broken. That shift, from curiosity to judgment, is usually where connection starts to collapse. The difference between men and women in love isn't really about depth or capacity, it's about timing, language, and the unconscious assumption that the person closest to you experiences the world the way you do, when in most cases, they never did.